G'day, welcome back. I'm Cheno. Today I'm going to be talking about 10 of superhero pets slash animals. So throughout all the comic universes, DC or Marvel, there's been several pets of some of the superheroes and some superheroes that are animals. So I'm going to cover off on 10 that I think are really cool and let you know a little bit about them and their story, etc. So here we go. Number 10, SpiderHam. So in the Marvel Universe, there are a variety of alternate universes, and in one such universe, instead of humans inhabiting the planet, these pig humanoids are inhabiting it in our place. And in this alternative reality, Peter Porker, who's actually a spider, is living under the house of May Porker. May Porker is a scientist who is in the hair care industry and has made a nuclear powered, like an atomic powered hairdryer in hopes to revolutionize the hair care industry. So in an experiment, while using the radioactive atomic hairdryer on herself, she becomes irradiated, and in a fit of total disillusion, she comes across Peter the spider, bites the spider, and then the spider turns into a humanoid pig, but still has spider powers, and so it becomes SpiderHam. So it's kind of like a reverse, instead of the spider biting a human, it's a pig human biting a spider, creating SpiderHam. SpiderHam is got his own little short-lived comic book storyline, but in the Spider-Verse storyline where all the Spider-Men come together, he's also pulled into that, and he's a really cool character. He has all Spider-Man's powers, but he's a pig, and he has the same wit as Spider-Man, except it seems to be a lot of pig-related sort of puns over and over again. So he's really cool. Number 9, in the DC universe, Bobo the detective chimp exists, and initially he was captured by Fred Thorpe, a carnival trainer who trained him for an act called Bobo the Detective, where through treats and signals taught him to come out on stage and walk around like a detective, smoking a pipe, dressed like Sherlock Holmes, and do a bit of a skit and pretend like he was a detective. However, he grew to love his trainer Fred Thorpe, and got really close to him, but his trainer was murdered, and Bobo the detective helped the sheriff solve the murder. And then because he's really intelligent and he actually sort of like knew what was going on, and he can read humans and he understands them, but he can't speak to humans, well, yet anyway. So he's sort of a pet, but not a pet of a superhero, but he's an animal, and from there it gets really weird. So Bobo the detective, walking around dressed like Sherlock Holmes, he then goes to Florida, where he comes across Rex the Wonder Dog, and Rex the Wonder Dog, who's another DC character, is just kind of like Lassie, takes him to the Fountain of Youth, where he gains the ability to speak to people, speak to all living creatures, and understand them in their own language, and becomes immortal. So now he's an immortal detective chimp, and he also gets the genius level human intelligence. So yeah, Bobo the detective chimp, immortal detective chimp. And throughout many of the different stories throughout the DC universe and alternate realities and reboots and so forth, Bobo the detective comes in. He also has like this sort of thing with Constantine and Batman, because of like the detective area. Yeah, so there you go, chimpanzee detective Bobo. Number 8, in the DC universe on Paradise Island, where Wonder Woman is from, there are these large breed of kangaroos called sky kangas. These sky kangas are used by the Amazonians for transportation. They have super jumping powers, and they can leap from one planet to the other. They actually have the ability to breathe, well, not breathe in space, but they have a large lung capacity that allows them to hold their breath for a long period of time, as the Amazonians ride kangaroos through space, jumping from one planet to the other. Number 7, again in the DC universe, we have Crypto, the super dog. Crypto was like on Earth. Krypton had dogs look exactly like our dogs, but these dogs have the same physiological differences as Kryptonians have to us. Crypto was Superman's dog as a child, and when Jor-El, Superman's father, before he sent Superman Kal-El to Earth in a rocket ship, as a test subject, as a test flight, he sent Crypto in a rocket to see if it would work. The launch was successful. However, Crypto's rocket had him in stasis, and it was knocked off course and drifted through space for a long time, but still somehow ended up on Earth. Crypto was then reunited with Superman when his rocket crashed to Earth and Superman came and found it. Upon the reunion, Superman finds that Crypto has, once exposed to the yellow sun of our solar system, has all the powers that he possesses, except he actually has a larger lung capacity and better hearing, as he's a canine. Like canines have better hearing than us. So, on a technicality, Crypto the Superdog is stronger than Superman. But, yeah, that's right. There's a Superdog. Number 6 in the DC universe yet again. This one is called Chip. Not that it is spelled like this. And he's a Green Lantern. And well, so Chipmunk from space, from Helven, gets a Green Lantern ring for some reason. I really don't care. The Green Lantern's origin's so boring as it is. And this is just a Green Lantern Chipmunk. I really prefer this guy. But yeah, you can look him up if you want. But there you go, Green Lantern Chipmunk. Number 5, again in the DC universe, Comet. Comet is a super horse, and it's Supergirl's horse, Supergirl's pet horse, and unlike Crypto the Superdog, thank God he's not actually from Krypton and he's just a super horse, a Kryptonian horse. No, his story is a little bit more complicated. He's actually a centaur from Greek mythology, and Cryos, the witch, casts a spell in an effort to make him completely human, but she fails epically and turns him into a horse. Because she's such a bad sorceress, she can't undo the spell, not even restoring him back to a centaur. So instead, she's like, well, I'll give you a complimentary prize, and here's some superpowers, giving him flight, super strength, and speed. So not all the, traditional Kryptonian powers. Anyway, somehow Supergirl meets up with him and they get on, and they put a red cape on the horse and call it, they call it Comet the Super Horse. After he meets Supergirl though, they go on a mission together to planet Xerox. And it's somewhere on this planet, I can't really find any information on this, but he was, someone cast a spell, turning him into a human. However, it's only as a comet passes through our solar system that he is human, so otherwise he turns back into a horse. Ironically, during the times that the comet is passing through the solar system, he adopts the identity of Bronco, Bill Starr, a rodeo trick rider. So a horse is riding horses? And while in his human form, Supergirl falls in love with him. Why not? Number 4, in the Marvel Universe, in the comic book series, unlike the current movie cinematic universe, Falcon has an empathy to birds. He's empathic to them, and he can actually communicate with them, and he has limited control over them. His companion Redwing, who in the movie Captain America Civil War was depicted as a drone, which was really cool, I like that, is actually a actual red falcon in the comics, who accompanies Falcon on all his missions and hangs around him, and they telepathically talk to each other. And strangely enough, which in the early on in the comic books when Captain America was fighting the Red Skull as part of a plot against Captain America, the Red Skull used the cosmic cube on Sam Wilson to make him have a link with Red Wing, which actually enhanced this connection, and through time and practice Sam Wilson was able to talk to birds. I really wish this was actually in the movies. I think they just didn't want to do it because it would be too hard for everyone to swallow. It's like, he can talk to birds? What? That's his superpower? Oh my god. So yeah, it is kind of a lame superpower, but it's cool, and as the character in the comic books. But I do, like I said before, like the drone. There you go, Red Wing. Kitty Pryde, the mutant who can phase through walls, who was in some of the X-Men movies, but is primarily larger in the comic books. When she first comes in, being part of the X-Men, there's a whole story arc where she has this fairy tale, and then all the X-Men end up being in this fairy tale. And in that fairy tale is a black dragon, and she calls it Lockheed, which is a representation of the X-Men's Blackbird, which is made by Lockheed. So, that in mind, later, the X-Men are captured, along with Kitty Pryde, and by the Brood, an alien race. They are kidnapped by them, taken back to their planet, and during this endeavour, Kitty Pryde comes across a creature that's dragon-like, small cat-like purple dragon creature, which she calls Lockheed because of the connection, looking like a dragon. Lockheed is actually an advanced extraterrestrial alien race who have ships, astral ships that they can transfer their body into and travel across the space. He can fly and project fire, and during her incarceration by the Brood, it is Lockheed that saves her and breaks her out. And later, she takes him home and she hides him out in the X-Mansion. The other X-Men don't know, but because they would be like, what the hell are you doing? There's a dragon alien here. Anyway, he is later exposed to the other X-Men in another situation where these alien hunter hatchlings come to attack him, and it's Lockheed who saves Kitty Pryde in this situation. And so then he's exposed and the X-Men are all happy. Yay, we've got a purple dragon pet. And from then on, he's Kitty Pryde's companion, and they get on, and he's cool. And that's how she has a purple dragon. Lockjaw is a big bulldog-looking creature with tuning forks sticking out of his head, and hopefully we're going to see him in the Inhumans movie sometime after 2020 in the Marvel Universe, and I hope he looks exactly like he does in the comic books. He's awesome. He is the royal teleporter, as he has the power to teleport. He has a big strong jaw, he can crush things with it, and he can consume energy. And so he is the royal escort for the royal family of the Inhumans. He was born in Attila in the Atlantic Ocean when it was there. And and he's this big, friendly looking dog who can teleport everyone. And later he gets exposed to the Mind Stone and he forms the Pet Avengers. So it's a pretty cool comic storyline. Number 1, Throg. Throg is actually his name is called Puddle Gulp. And in a story arc where Thor is turned into a frog by Loki in Central Park in New York, he comes across Puddle Gulp, who is this frog, and his community of frog people, or frogs in the Central Park, are having a little bit of a war situation with the rats invading the Central Park. And Thor teams up with him and helps him out with the rat problem. And then eventually at some point, Thor forces Loki to turn him back into himself. And at this point, before Thor departs, Puddle Gulp finds some silver from Thor's hammer Mjolnir, and uses that to turn himself into Throg, the Frog of Thunder, which is awesome. And he's this little frog getting around like Thor with his hammer. and he's got all of his powers, and he's pretty cool, and he defends the Central Park against frogs, against the rats. It's later revealed in the Pet Avengers storyline that he was actually once a human, cursed and turned into a frog by a Romanian woman. And his name is actually Sam Walterson. So there you have it. That's Throg. Thunder Frog. Right, so that was it. 10 animal/pet superheroes that I really like. So in the comments below, if you could leave which ones you liked, if there's any other ones out there that you know of and you like, let us know that you think I should have had in it. Also, question for you guys, which one of these characters do you think should be in the movie universes, whether it's DC or Marvel? I think they should bring Throg in. I know it'd be completely stupid, but who cares? I think once Chris Hemsworth is done with being Thor, we get a frog in there, CGI him, cost nothing, just get a voice actor. So in the comments below, let me know what you think, who should be in the movies. Don't forget to click like if you liked the video, I really appreciate that. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and please subscribe. So anyway, until next time, g'day, hooroo, whatever.